Hey everybody, it's been a while. I haven't read online in a while, but I have been missing reading online. So today I thought that I would read Young Water Protectors, a story about Standing Rock for Indigenous Peoples Day, which we have for the first time ever in Virginia. My own family is Pamunkey, that's what the family stories say, from Richmond. So I thought this would be important to read. Young Water Protectors, a story about Standing Rock, in honor of Indigenous Peoples Day. This book was written by a boy, 8 years old, and so that's another awesome reason to read this book, Young Water Protectors. The font that's used in the book is a little tricky for me to read. It's all caps, so I'll just do the best I can, but just kind of hang in there with me. Young Water Protectors, a story about Standing Rock, written in 2018 by Aslan and Kelly Tudor. So this little boy, 8 years old, wrote the book and his mother helped him. A water protector is someone who protects water from getting polluted. Companies are polluting the water by building things like oil pipelines under or near waterways. And this is the Cannonball River in North Dakota, which is where I would love to go. I would love to just travel to North and South Dakota. When we can all travel again, I'm gonna try to do that. As Native Americans, we want to protect the earth and water from getting polluted and harmed because these are sacred lands and waters to us. We want to keep our homelands from getting harmed. The Standing Rock Sioux Tribe is a native nation of Dakota and Lakota peoples. Their reservation is located in North and South Dakota. Their land used to be much bigger because of the Treaty of Fort Laramie, an agreement made a long time ago. And this shows the states of Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, and the Sioux Treaty. It was all Indigenous people land, but the Sioux Treaty, the Treaty of Fort Laramie in 1851, took a lot of land away and left them with this space. So there's Fort Laramie is here, the Black Hills is here, lots of rivers, the Elk River, the Cheyenne River, the White River, North Platte River, Yellowstone River, Missouri River, the James River. What is that, same James River? That we have here. So the whole land was their land, and through a series of treaties, the land was taken away from the native peoples. There are a lot I've read so much about American Indians. It's not even funny. I've read a lot. And the Treaty of Fort Laramie is a good thing to know more about. People a long time ago did not respect that and took the land without permission, so that the reservation became much smaller. The land is called unceded treaty territory because the Lakota people did not give up the land. So then, so some of this land was lost in 1877. More of it was lost in 1889. Some was lost in 1910. And the current tribal lands are all the dark kind of maroon places that you see. So there's Standing Rock, Rosebud. There was a lot of stuff happening in Rosebud. That was a scene of an armed battle or a protest or something. So Rosebud is a very important piece of history. The Pine Ridge Reservation is also quite a lot written about Pine Ridge. Then you have the Cheyenne, the Standing Rock, Crow Creek, Pierre, South Dakota. The Black Hills, there's a lot written about the Black Hills. So kind of an interesting history. Thank you, Denise and Patty. Thanks for watching. A company was trying to build an oil pipeline under the Missouri River, which is Standing Rock's drinking water supply. The pipeline is called the Dakota Access Pipeline. The land and water where the pipeline was being built is their treaty land. So there was a pipeline trying to be built in the land that they were given quotes through the treaty that says children don't drink oil. When pipelines are built, they end up leaking and polluting the land and water. If the Dakota Access Pipeline were to leak, it would make the water for Standing Rock Sioux Tribe undrinkable. And there was something on the news about that recently. Remember that whole thing about the pipeline was leaking? In Lakota, Min Wiconi means water is life. Water is life. Youth from Standing Rock started a water protectors camp to protect their water. It was called Sacred Stone Camp. They asked people to come and join them to help them protect their water. A lot of people came to help, and a new camp started. It was called Oceti Sakowin Camp. I should try to show you the pictures of the kids. Hey, Alyssa. I went to North Dakota to the Oceti Sakowin Camp in August 2016. I was 8 years old. I went with my mom, my little sister, and some friends. This reminds me of you, Alyssa. We're reading Young Water Protector's story of Standing Rock. This reminds me of your adventures in the Midwest. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, everybody. Every day we went to the gates where they were building the pipeline. The morning started with traditional Lakota prayers. Each day we were trying to stop them from building the pipeline. See all the people in peaceful protest. The kids there helped protest and also played together. We sang traditional songs with everyone. People painted messages of resistance and posted flags from their native lands. Hey, hey. Every day, warriors on horses rode through camp and led everyone on a march up to the pipeline construction site. They painted their horses and faces with traditional designs. One of them told me I have warrior hair because I kept it long. In camp, we slept in a tent. Sounds familiar, Alyssa? Others slept in teepees. I think you might be sleeping in a teepee. Buses, so let me start that over again because I got carried away with Alyssa sleeping at a teepee. In camp, thank you, Alyssa. In camp, we slept in a tent. Others slept in teepees, buses, and RVs. We ate food together, and at night we had big fires and met Native Americans from all over. People sang round dance songs at night. I bet that's spectacular to experience. Camp started small, and there were only other Native Americans there. Then camp grew rapidly. After we left, the camp grew to around 10,000 people, and it became one of the largest cities in North Dakota. I really want to go to North Dakota or South Dakota. They built a traditional Lakota school, several kitchens, a general store, a medical compound, and many other things. We came back in October 2016. Camp was huge when we got there. There were around 5,000 people there. There were a lot of teepees and tents. Teepee life. Hashtag teepee life. It was much bigger than in August. There were Native people and non-Native people there this time. So the peaceful protest grew from just Native folks to Native and non-Native people. And in this picture, you can see all of the teepees. And I bet that's what it looked like before the settlers came. Like Native Americans were just really like doing their thing, living off the land in reverence to the land. I went to the traditional Lakota school, trying to get this straight, that was in camp. It was called the Defenders of the Water School. When I open my own school, it's going to be called Defenders of the Water School or something like that. Defenders of, I don't know, something. Defenders of something important school. Defenders of, I don't know. Defenders of, I don't know, something school. I'm going to figure that out. I learned about the type of corn made by the Pueblo peoples. We sang Lakota songs. They had a library in the school. I read books by Native authors. My mom worked in the medical tent in camp. She's an EMT. I joined an herbal conference a couple weekends ago, and they started off with a traditional Indigenous song. It was beautiful, and it was a great way to start this conference about herbalism and how to use herbs and plants to support your life, really. It was really powerful. We got to stay at a teepee with a friend. It was warm inside because there was a fire. It was pretty cold outside, so it felt nice to sleep in the teepee. Alyssa, do you have fires in your teepee, or is it a fire outside of your teepee? The pipeline was still being built. People from camp went to different construction sites each day. It wasn't too safe for kids out there, so we stayed in camp. I know the library is, library is very important. Patty, we should go do something with books in the libraries or something. We should do something. Between August 2016 and February 2017, tens of thousands of people passed through this camp. People came from every continent in the world, including celebrities, politicians, and tribal representatives from over 500 Native nations. It was the largest Native gathering in history and the largest unity between different Native nations we've ever had. The pipeline was delayed, but finished in the summer of 2017. The Standing Rock Sioux Tribe is still fighting in court. In your teepee, the fire is outside because of the city ordinance. Yep. So they're still fighting in court about this pipeline. Here's a picture of the teepee. Min Wiconi, water is life. Here's a picture of the author. Gotta bundle up. I can't get this straight to save my life. Here's a picture of the author. Thank you to the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe for the camp and their resistance to the pipeline. Thank you to my mom for helping me write this book. Thank you to everyone who helps fight pipelines and fight for Native rights. Aslan Tudor is 10 years old. He's a citizen of the Lipan Apache tribe of Texas. He and his family live in Indianapolis, Indiana, and are moving home to Texas soon. Aslan has traditional hair, which for boys is long. He is a grass dancer and drummer. He wants to be an actor to help represent Native people well in film. He acts in local stage plays currently. And there's some photo credits here, and then there's some more book references here if you want to read them. And I'm going to show you just like two more quick books. I'm not going to read them, but I'm going to show you to them. What I love about this book too is it says elder approved. I think that's like so awesome. And then Min Wiconi, water is life. So I have these two books about water. I'm kind of into the whole water thing. So Cool Drink of Water. Maybe I'll read this. Maybe I'll read this one day. It's about water all over the world. And this one is called A Drop of Water. And just talks a little bit about water. So thank you for kind of chilling with me, Young Water Protectors, the Sioux, story about Standing Rock. There's plenty of books, adult books and children's books on the subject of water rights, about Indigenous people, about some of the places that are mentioned in this book. So, you know, do yourself a favor and read up, get some information, all right? I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel in case you came late to the party. We all need water. Water is sacred. Protect water. Watch your consumption. All of that good stuff. All right? Thank you. Peace. It was great to read to you all. It was a good little mood lifter. And happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Love y'all.